Welcome to HornbillTV Prime at 9. I'm Muamla, and now news in details. Amid declining COVID-19 cases in the country, the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha are set to resume their normal sittings for the second part of the budget session, beginning from March 14 at 11 a.m. However, the two houses will continue with most of the restrictions following the COVID-19 protocol. Seen in the earlier parts of the parliament sessions, the two houses of parliament will continue to follow the social distancing norms in the sitting arrangements of the members by utilizing both the chambers and visitors' galleries. As per the sitting arrangements, Rajya Sabha having a total strength presently of 237 members with 8 vacancies out of a total of 245 MPs. Will have 139 plus 3 MPs sitting in the chamber, while 98 others will be accommodated in the gallery at a given time. Similarly, Lok Sabha has a total accommodation of 538 members, out of which 282, including the Prime Minister, can sit in the chamber, while the rest 258 can sit in the galleries at a given time. In addition, the restricted access for the media will also continue as earlier, with limited sitting capacity in the press gallery. Entry of visitors to witness the proceedings of the two houses will remain suspended. According to the official guidelines, only sitting members of the two houses of parliament can visit the central hall, which will be out of bounds for the former MPs and visitors. The Congress Working Committee, the topmost decision-making body in the Congress, will meet on Sunday at 4 p.m. in Delhi at the party headquarters. This would be the first CWC meeting after the party's push show in the 5 states that went to the polls recently. The 5 states are Punjab, Uttarakhand, Uttar Pradesh, Manipur and Goa. Bearing Punjab, the 4 states were ruled by the Bharatiya Janata Party, while the BJP retained power in all the 4 states it ruled before the polls. The Congress lost Punjab to the Aam Aadmi Party. The Grand Old Party even failed to put up a strong fight in the 4 states. Sources said that the Congress leaders will discuss the poll debacle in the 5 states and the current political situation in the country. Congress Interim Chief Sonia Gandhi will preside over the meeting. The Kohima Press Club organized one-day workshop on budget simplified today at the Heritage in Kohima. The resource person Katulo Mehta, Senior Research Officer, highlighted on the present status of state finances and ways forward. Mehta gave insight on the sources of funds, where the main sources is the share of central taxes, where 41% goes to the state and 59% to the central as per the 15th Finance Commission. He said that the revenue deficit grant and the central taxes are the two main sources recommended by the Finance Commission. He also shared on the power purchase and revenue, where the prepaid metering is a way forward and is expected to bring about more revenue.
So we have an army of about 1 lakh, such a nice figure, 10001. As of on the basis of explanatory memorandum submitted on the floor of the House. So this is the figure: Home Guard, VG, Social Welfare, LIDA, and work charge. So if you see, including the work charge and fixed pay, 1,40,765. So if you see the population ratio, you know, if you include the regular, 1:10.
An overview of state finances and budget and ways forward was presented by YKK Tosema, Agriculture Production Commissioner and former Secretary of Finance. He highlighted on the various aspects of the budget and also briefed on the budget documents, Comptroller and Auditor General report, Public and Accounts Committee and issues.
It has been an important day for our club as we have organized a workshop on Budget Simplified, a one-day workshop for our members. The objective of this workshop was to enlighten our members with the budget session that is coming, and with more and more new entrants of journalists who are joining this profession. We feel that it is good, it will be good for our members to get themselves acquainted with the state finances and budget. So today we have two very knowledgeable person as resource persons who are expertise in this field. So today, through them, today we have learned many things about our state finances.
It is one major source of revenue for the state. Then the revenue deficit grant. These two sources are recommended by the finance commissions. Then the third is the state's own tax, like SGST, VAT on petroleum products, road tax.
Two players from the Nagaland Blind and Deaf Judo Association has brought laurels to the state by winning medals at the 10th National Blind and Deaf Judo Championship held from March 5 to 9 at Sri Ganganagar in Rajasthan. Odi Mumba bagged gold medal while Pulien won bronze medal. Altogether, 4 from the NBDA participated in the championship. To know more about the journey, HornbillTV interacted with the participants and the association members. Let's have a look.
Very proud moment. Mohalla idu Blind Para Judo Association laga team to this time bhi jaigina do gold medal anishe. तो महला फुल टीम इदे आसे ब्लाइंड पैरा जुडो एसोसिएशन ला नागालैंड लगा महला फाउंडर मेंबर भी बुइगिना आसे मिस्टर किशोर दे और महला सेक्रेटरी भी मिस्टर अरविंद दमानी ताई भी आसे महला होते अजी और महला जॉइंट सेक्रेटरी प्रिया भट्टाचार्य मिसेस प्रिया भट्टाचार्य शी इज आल्सो देयर तो महनी मन खुशी पाएगिना दिस टाइम बच्चा खान राजस्थान दे नेशनल दे जाइशे जाइगिना जिदीना आइशे No doubt, पुला भी last time भी gold जीतिशे. This time तो competition भी tough था किशे. होली भी इमान blessing पाइशे मानुहाना this time. तहान blessing पाइगिना this time भी gold win करना आनिशे.
2019 ते अमिहान इतो start करेशे. During that time सोमनाथ चक्रवर्ती the coach and अमी किशोर दे अमिहान दुजन मिलाई किनाए खाली दुजन बच्चा के पथावा परिशे. दुजन बच्चा के पथा टाइम थे ओदी मोंगबा इतो टाइम थे ताई silver medal पाई किनाए शे. After that next year अमिहान लोगों ते आरो members can join होइशे such Arvind Damani, Priya Bhattacharya, Abhishek Chaudhary and many more members and so manola help करेगिना next second event ते अमिहान 4 जन member पथाव परिशे so second event ते 4 जन पथा टाइम ते इतो टाइम ते अमिहान एकता gold पाइशे तो this year भी अमिहान मन थाकिसिले at least 10 members लगा team पठा बोले but due to shortage of fund अमिहान last year some players can के minus करेगिना अमिहान 4 जने पथाव परिशे and out of 4 अमिहान दुईटा medal पाइशे under 55 kg gold and under 50 kg we got bronze medal and in future te अमिहान इतबे target करि आसे अमिहान एकता याते same national game भी अमिहान organize करिबले मन आसे अमिहान लगा state ते और for the championship अमिहान more than 20 team members लगा team पठाइसे कले अमिहान championship पाबले भी बेसी chances आसे तो अमिहान लगा next target एतुए आसे championships कारणे अमिहान try करिबो जिमान members आरो public लगा support friends खान लगा support पाइसे कले अमिहान more and more members लगा team पठावे किना championship तो आनिबले मन आसे
इटा मोहा लगते 10 national blind and deaf judo championship te Nagaland represent krigina duita winners mogan mojote ase to taigan laga tai jun ge bi 4 jon represent krina jaise kintu 2 jon he jitina ayule parise to time holi bi bisi proud moment ase mogan Nagaland stage limited to tai jun bi takhanis na tai jun la experience bi kiniga ase hudi so first of all odi mumba itu gold winner gold medalist ase to apni laga itu this time represent Nagaland represent krina apni gold jitise kiniga experience ase alop share koribi
this step la experience to lido palvi taise bhiabe taise bolbe ekdam this time la do lido moi gandu ekdam tough game takise mula team opponent gando bisi bal kan takise bolo pe ekdam experience kan hi takise bolbe isum number sop to final tak pungjina chiti boli parse call pabo koina de man expect ta nai bolbe sop to isum number chitina ani bole parse man Nagaland number jato
this time plus second time jaase last time to ko banai to la number this time to moi try grow go silver or gold to moi try grow na product papna mundi thakina grow la ase to mola second match to le moi Punjab panlo klije palwa train lo mano ta no palwa train lo mano na je ta lo kila to moi points pra jidi je to e bisi mundi khai je knockout khanai moi khali points tan technical advance hoise ta no train lo mano je balwa ta debe moi points deba namishe but I know next time we mula best level them we try grow.
अपनी भी क्लीना आइसे तो अपनी ला एक्सपीरियंस भी किनी का ताकि से और नेक्स्ट टाइम निमिते की प्लान क्रिकिना से अपनी भी
next time do this time do movie like kina ko first time ase to kwans na manunis na practice krina noilibi na thakina thaka manui tu windoi to manu ni kli thaka level ka lok pa to movie confuse ka na ki ba hoche shuli next time de chitiole try guru mula base or like baratak paro nimide olao nimide try guru kona kuda
আমি তো এইটো আচিভৰ মিলাই নাই এইটো সেকেন্ড টাইম আছে হলে ইনি লাক পিয়া হয় নাই নি আনিব পৰা নাই বাট ইয়া ফৰ নেক্সট টাইম ট্ৰাই কৰিব মই ইনি
তো এটা মহান উইনার্স কান লগতে কথা বাজি কৰি কিনা মহান একটা বাল কথা জানি পাইছে তাকান ইটো ট্ৰেইনিং বাল পৰা কৰি কিনা নাগালেণ্ড ষ্টেটছ ৰিপ্ৰেজেণ্ট কৰি কিনা তাহান মহান লাগা ষ্টেটছ নিমিতে দুইটা ডাঙৰ মেডেল আনি দিছে তো তাই কান কি বি কংগ্ৰেচুলেশ্যন আৰু এছ'চিয়েশ্যন কান বি এনেকুৱা বাচ্চা কানকে আৰু ট্ৰেইন কৰি দিনা প্লেটফৰ্ম দি কিনা বাল নেক্সট ইয়াৰ টিভি ইটো চেম্পিয়নশ্বিপ আলাগ আলাগ টিভি ৰিপ্ৰেজেণ্ট কৰি কিনা আৰু মেডেলছ বেছি আনিবলৈ লগা ইচ্ছা আছে মই আদনা হেৰি উইথ কেমেৰা পাৰ্চন কেটলেনো ফৰ হৰ্ণবিল টিভি ডিমাপুৰ
Advisor for Animal Husbandry and Veterinary Services and Women Resources Development R. King today inaugurated the Government High School Chunlika Annex building in Timinyu. While addressing the gathering, the advisor reminded the genesis of the school and its founders. He also highlighted on the significance of Chunlika being the center of the northern Rengmas. Noting the school's contribution to the community, King encouraged the teachers to be sincere in their duties as they are the builders of future leaders. He further encouraged the students to utilize the best facilities provided by the government.
Actually, do laga creeper, keba boti loga na sabam bana laga. Itu dia rasa actually itu bisa sekusi. Aro kha tu ale da aika na. To look the slope. The pride I can to going for this. To actually to reset our pioneers can have nam going dia laga. Nutun dia. Aro to jaga bhi nutun nam lo pore lo se bhavna be nutun bhavigana to sob ki to se da kahani laga story laga God that is all the short version. So nega ta then nega bhavigana ichha thagi kena itu prakara parigana start para this it is very side stage by stage upgrade kurikena itu high school ta se era manata to upgradation kora high secondary bagasa.
Prior to the program, the special guest unveiled the flag and was dedicated by Reverend Kanku Mak. Additional Director of School Education spoke on behalf of the School Education Department, while various community leaders, including President of the Kitaga Public Organization, delivered short speeches. School's principal delivered words of gratitude, while Deputy Commissioner Dr. Zasekule Chusi shared the program. With uncertainty prevailing over Pushkar Singh Dhami's return to the Chief Minister's post following his defeat in the Uttarakhand Assembly polls, speculation began once again in the media here about who might replace him. Dhami has lost Uttarakhand Assembly elections from his own Khatima constituency despite BJP's thumping victory in the state. At least half a dozen names have begun doing the rounds as Dhami's likely replacement, including Chauba Takal, MLA Satpal Maharaj, Srinagar Garhwal MLA Dhan Singh Rawat, former Chief Minister Trivendra Singh Rawat, who did not contest the post this time, and Didihat legislator Bishan Singh Chofal. Meanwhile, Trivendra Singh Rawat categorically ruled himself out of the race, saying that he had been in the race, he would have contested the post. Names of former Union Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank, Union Minister of State for Defence Ajay Bhatt and Rajya Sabha MP Anil Baluni are also afloat. The BJP won the popular mandate for the second consecutive term in Uttarakhand, begging 47 seats in the 70-member assembly. A mosque in the southeastern Ukrainian port city of Mariupol, where 80 civilians were taking shelter, has been shelled by Russian forces, Ukraine's foreign ministry said on Saturday. The mosque of Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent and his wife Roxolana in Mariupol was shelled by Russian invaders. More than 80 adults and children are hiding there from the shelling, including citizens of Turkey, the ministry wrote on its Twitter account. In the ongoing Russian invasion of Ukraine, which began on February 24, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has said that a total of 7,144 more Ukrainians have been evacuated from our cities in the country through humanitarian corridors. Zelensky, who made this announcement in his address to the nation on Friday, 17th of the war with Russia, also said that the situation is strategically important city of Mariupol was critical as the Russian troops, he alleged, were not letting people leave the besieged city. He added that Ukraine will try again on Saturday to send food and medicines for the city, the residents of which have been without power or water for more than a week. Western sanctions against Russia could cause the International Space Station to crash, the head of Russian space agency Roscosmos on Saturday, calling for the punitive measures to be lifted. According to Dmitry Rogozin, the sanctions, some of which predate Moscow's invasion of Ukraine, could disrupt the operation of Russian spacecraft servicing the ISS. As a result, the Russian segment of the station, which helps correct its orbit, could be affected, causing the 500-ton structure to fall down into the sea or onto land. The Roscosmos chief wrote on Telegram, publishing a map of the locations where the ISS could possibly come down. He pointed out that it was unlikely to be in Russia. Rogozin similarly raised the threat of the space station falling to Earth last month while blasting Western sanctions on Twitter. On March 1, NASA said it was trying to find a solution to keep the ISS in orbit without Russia's help. Crews and supplies are transported to the Russian segment by Soyuz spacecraft, but Rogozin said the launcher used for takeoff had been under US sanctions since 2021 and under EU and Canadian sanctions since 2022. Roscosmos said it had appealed to NASA, the Canadian Space Agency and the European Space Agency, demanding the lifting of illegal sanctions against our companies. After winning an unprecedented second term in Uttar Pradesh, Yogi Adityanath is likely to take oath as Chief Minister for the second time after Holi. The Chief Minister is likely to head to New Delhi to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Bharatiya Janata Party President JP Nadda on Sunday to discuss the formation of the new government. This may also pave the way for convening of the BJP Legislature Party meeting and set in motion the process for the formation of the new government. Adityanath met Governor Anandiben Patel on Friday to tender his resignation as per formalities. Earlier, Adityanath also chaired the last meeting of his outgoing cabinet and thanked the people of Uttar Pradesh for extending their support to the BJP in the state assembly election. Adityanath will be the first Uttar Pradesh chief minister in the state 7 decades of election to retain power after completing a full term. None of the previous chief ministers, including the BJP's main rival in this election, Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav, were able to return to power. The BJP won 255 assembly seats in Uttar Pradesh. Its allies Apna Dal and Nishad Party bagged 12 seats and 6 seats respectively. Chief Minister designate Bhagwan Mann met Governor Banwarilal Purohit at Raj Bhawan in Chandigarh and handed over him a letter claiming Stakes claim to form the government in the state. The swearing-in ceremony will be held at Khatar Kalan, the ancestral village of freedom fighter Bhagat Singh. AAP National Convener and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and several of his ministers will be present at the event. The date was announced after Mann met Kejriwal at the latter's residence in New Delhi and invited him for the ceremony. Mann on Thursday won the Dhuri seat with a margin of 58,206 votes as AAP scored its maiden victory in the state. The party has won 92 out of 170 seats in the Punjab Assembly. At least 8 ministers are expected to take oath along with him.
आज राज्यपाल को मैंने समर्थन लेटर दिया। हमारे एमएलए का विधायक दल ने कल मुझे नेता चुना था, तो राज्यपाल साहब ने उसको परवान किया। सरकार बनाने का दावा हमने पेश किया और उन्होंने कहा कि यहाँ भी आपने उत सेरेमनी करनी है, हमें बता दीजिए। तो शहीद भगत सिंह के पैतृक गांव खटखड़ कला में 12:30 बजे 16 तारीख को ओथ सेरेमनी होगी। पूरे पंजाब से घर घर से लोग आएंगे और भगत सिंह को श्रद्धांजलि भी देंगे।
BJP's Pramod Sawan resigned as Chief Minister of Goa as the party prepares to form a government for the third consecutive time. The BJP emerged as the single largest party in the state, winning 20 out of 40 seats. As results for the assembly elections were declared on Friday, it also secured the support of a key regional player, the Maharashtra was Gomantak Party, and 2 independent MLAs. While the BJP is all set to form the government in the coastal state, the party has kept suspense over the Chief Minister. There are reports that the party is looking to replace Mr. Sawant, who won by a thin margin of around 666 seats, traditional St. William seat.
मेरा रेजिग्नेशन सबमिट करने के लिए मैं गवर्नर के पास आया था। एज अ प्रोसीजरल आई हैव सबमिटेड माय रेजिग्नेशन एंड गवर्नर ने केयरटेकर सीएम बोल के मुझे लेटर दे दिया है। टिल द नया प्रोसीजर पूरा कंप्लीट होते तक केयरटेकर सीएम बोल के मुझे लेटर दे दिया है। अपने प्रोसीजरल जो है वो सेंट्रल पार्टी से फॉलो हो रहे हैं। प्रोसीजरल जो फॉलो होंगे तब मैंने वो कंप्लीट किया जाए।
Maharashtra leader of opposition Devendra Fadnavis, while addressing a press conference on March 2, have informed that Mumbai police has sent him a notice regarding investigation in the phone tapping case.
2021 में महाराष्ट्र में हुए ट्रांसफर घोटाले का पर्दाफाश मैंने किया था। 6 महीने से जो रिपोर्ट सरकार के पास पड़ी थी, लेकिन सरकार ने उस पर कार्रवाई नहीं की थी। लेकिन कल मुझे पुलिस की ओर से सीआरपीसी 160 का नोटिस मिला है, जिसमें उन्होंने इसी मामले के सिलसिले में मुझे बीकेसी साइबर पुलिस स्टेशन में बुलाया है। इसलिए कल 11 बजे बीकेसी साइबर पुलिस स्टेशन में इस मामले के बारे में मैं जाने वाला हूं। उनके सवालों का मैं जवाब दूंगा।
Reports of multiple fires from the outskirts of Kyiv port in on Saturday as Russia troops expanded their onslaught and closed in on the Ukrainian capital. According to inputs from the Kyiv Independent, several fires were seen in Kyiv Oblast, a province in north-central Ukraine surrounding the capital following overnight attacks from Russian forces. Also, an oil depot was on fire in Vasilkiv, 36 kilometers south of Kyiv, while another was hit in the village of Krychik. In the village of Kivniv, a warehouse for frozen food products was on fire after Russian shelling. Air raid sirens were heard across most Ukraine news agency routers. The report of fire came amid talks of reopening humanitarian corridors for thousands of residents in the war-torn country, including the one from the besieged southern port of city of Mariupol to Zaporizhia later in the day. Ukraine's Deputy Prime Minister Irina Vereshchuk said she hoped Russia would honor its promises for a ceasefire. The Russia's military campaign in Ukraine was in its third week, having caused thousands of deaths and injuries, battering cities and triggering one of Europe's once refugee crisis. This is all for now. Keep watching HornbillTV.